This is Elliot Holman. We're doing Total Access, and for the third time, 5 Seconds of Summer. Join us. How are you?
Third time is the charm.
Hat trick. You guys were my first ever guest on Total Access. We've talked about this before. I think it was 2014, summer 2014.
Yeah. Wow.
You guys were my first ever guest, and I was petrified.
We were probably petrified as well, to be honest. If it was the first one, like the first album. Oh, hi, man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we were
covered
talking
in acne, probably.
We were talking about the debut album, and I was doing my debut show, so we were probably both quite petrified. I heard you say recently that you've kind of got over that stage of drinking and partying, and it's all settling down. Is this tour coming up? Is it all just going to be like tea and cake backstage?
It's more about looking after ourselves to benefit the band and to respect ourselves, and all the work we put into this album as well. It deserves the best,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's why
you guys still party pretty hard.
In the right times.
Yeah, it's more planning when you're gonna have a few pints instead of like doing it when you have to be up.
Night,
to be up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, like we're up at 5 today.
Yeah.
We're tired as it is, so we're getting it right.
Last time I met you guys, when you came into the studio, we were about to go and see the 1D lads in the evening. So, I mean, like, fangirl-wise, this was quite a big day. You've got 5 Sauce and 1D. Since then, RIP 1D. I feel like they've just moved over and just let you guys take over the world.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What were the comparisons between our interview and their interview?
Yeah.
You were a lot more fun.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that's good.
Maybe they were going through a tough time.
1,000,000%. You're a lot more fun. I'm just going to say that.
That's cool. We missed those guys. They made a really brave decision to, pursue their own musical endeavors. So,
and their happiness as well, like as individuals, to take a break like that.
Yeah. After being on tour with them and seeing how big they were in person every single night and every single day, I don't think anyone ever could put their themselves in that situation.
They definitely lived like a crazy life that very few people will ever see. That type of mania, it's like biggest thing since the Beatles or whatever. So it's nuts, but it was really cool that we got the opportunity to see it on the inside, and it made us like want to follow in their footsteps in a way of being like, we want to be like that and make sure that we can be as big and as like successful as them and keep our sanity intact,
And artistry. They're a very, very different band to us. And that's what always set us aside from them. And that's why, we're here.
I want to talk to you about this album. Get me excited for it. Tell me as much as you're allowed to tell me.
I could tell you about the emotional commitment to it, being an older, more conscious being, and really diving into lyrical capability, songwriting capability, musical capability, and also having the wisdom and lessons that we've learned in all the shows we've played and the big shows, small shows, all of that knowledge, and putting that into an album is something that feels like the perfect storm to us. And it feels fantastic. That hopefully will get you excited.
Does this feel like, because of everything you just said, does this feel more you in this record?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like we made an album that finally will be able to really identify us for years to come.
I'm excited for this. Just as my Twitter notifications are lighting up every time that
that's so cool that they reply to you and stuff when
all I had to do was mention that you guys were going to be on the show, and it was
I love that. Oh, great.
When are they on? Where are they? What flight are they on? I don't know the flight number. I've not got their passports. I don't know.
Next time. We'll text you next time.
That's sweet. Thank you for playing it, by the way.
You're very welcome. I want to talk about this tune right now. I've seen people getting tattoos on faces, lips.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be connecting quite well.
Yeah, well, even that is one that I think you're mentioning, the one on the bottom of the lip. That was before it was even out, so, I mean...
That's risky.
Yeah, it was very risky. Want You Back for us, was a perfect introduction to the rest of the album that, Ashton was just talking about. And it just came about naturally, and we're really happy with that song. And it was the last song we wrote for the album, which happens a lot of time with bands and artists. We've all heard those stories. So yeah, and the reaction's been brilliant for it. So we couldn't be happier.
And because of what you guys said about kind of approaching it differently, is that why it's got this different sound. I'm not going to be the first person to say that it's a little
Yeah.
bit different.
Yeah.
I think for us, we keep repeating that it felt natural and it didn't feel forced. So we aren't questioning how it sounds at all. We're very comfortable with how it sounds, and it's just a progression.